territory, we have to set the tone right in the beginning, and they do the exact opposite.
And take it into the end zone for a count. Great effort there. His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Cowboys get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. Extra point by Patterson. That makes the score 7-0. And Patterson back out there to send this one away. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. He finds his man, complete. It's Kramer. And they work this well upfield across the 45. 23 yards, the final tally.
Defense gives up a touchdown on the opening drive. Offense, you got to want to get out there and get those points back right now.
And that's a sharp throw there to get this drive off to a good start. First carry. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. It's another first down as this time they get an even 20. Well, no slow start here. A couple nice chunk plays back-to-back.
I love the momentum that they're showing here early because they did it both ways, right? Threw the ball on first down for a nice chunk of yardage. Came right back and ran the ball. Looks like they got the defense set back on their heels. Let's see if they can keep this moving.
Herbert on first down now. And his throw's going to be incomplete. So, Charles, you look at this offense, what a start to the season. 5 wins without a loss. When do you think that you start believing that maybe you're in the midst of something special?
Well, you and I both know every head coach never wants that thought to creep into a locker room. But the truth of the matter is, not quite at this time, because if we look at the Steelers in 2020, they're a great example. Remember, they started 11-0, then lost 5 and 6 and went out in the first round. But I think if you get toward mid-November, the Thanksgiving time frame, and you're still doing this, that's when things start to get real for a ball.
And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And they'll use him out of the backfield, and sometimes quite a bit. They're just trying to get him touches any way they can. 4 catches a week ago, there's another one right there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Herbert operating from the red zone. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, LA. A great play there. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Chargers are an extra point away now from tying this ball game. Point after, right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. Well, partner, fast forward with me for a second. Remember, next week they have the open week, so they're going to get some extended rest. Does that change how they manage the rest of this one?
I think it does a little bit, but not by too much, because you're right. You get the extra rest, you get a chance to heal up. and kind of, do a little bit of a reset for this team. But it's also 7 extra days to think back to the last time you were on the field. So now, a little more importance on what they're getting done because they carry it with them for essentially 2 weeks.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Lawrence. And that one off the mark behind him. Incomplete.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
On 3rd down, Lawrence. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. He'll take it at the 42. We'll call that a punt of 38 yards officially. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work. Brandon, watching their tape from last week, I saw plenty of plays like we just saw there, forcing incompletions. It was key in their win last week. They're hoping the same thing happens this time out, too.
Play action this time for Justin Herbert. And he's going to lose a yard or two, taken down behind the line. Micah Parsons in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. You know darn well both of these teams reviewed the film and saw that this defense had 5 sacks last week. They've got to keep their QB upright.
And they're going to try their best to do exactly that. But they're facing a team where getting to the quarterback is a mindset. It's a mantra for them. And they play a game within the game. And you know what it is? Let's race to the quarterback and see who gets there first.
And he is brought down, but not before reaching the 30. Give him 22 there on the 3rd down conversion.
But we're used to seeing the guy that you consider the #1 receiver double covered. But how about this guy? He's double covered and finds a way to make the play for a first down.
That's how you increase your Madden rating, right?
No doubt about that at all. And you know something? I think we'll hear about that from him soon.
He'll get about 6 there as he takes this one down to the 24-yard line. Well, this defense for the Cowboys, they were terrific a week ago in the win over Washington.
No matter what coverage was called, they were right in the hip pockets of the receivers all game long, step for step, running their routes with them. Turned out they were right there every time the ball was in the air, and they came away with 5 interceptions in that one.
And this will be caught in the end zone for a Chargers touchdown. A 24-yard touchdown. And the Chargers have taken the lead. The extra point up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. And they have the game here followed by the open date on their calendar next weekend. And Charles, this is a crew that you have to think really is relishing the opportunity to be on the couch for a few days.
Yeah, they certainly are, but let's face it, partner. They can't get caught looking ahead to that couch time while they're playing this one. They've got to take care of business first.
2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Lawrence will throw. And he finds his target. It's Schultz. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days, but you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll show the defense.
His first catch of the game, good for 11 and a first down. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score.
They got number 5. Do this offense.
You can score on these guys.
Keep it moving, offense. Keep it moving.
They'll send a receiver in motion to the right. Again, it's Lawrence. He tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
On 1st and 10, it's home. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Ball again on 2nd down. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup, and that's all they needed to move the sticks.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, it's Herbert. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Really nice play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball, but for the guys on the offensive line, they're doing a nice job of trying to protect their passer. But when a guy hops in the air and goes airborne to try and knock one away, it's difficult because you can't reach out and grab him. That'll be a holding penalty. So all you're trying to do is make some type of a play on him, make some type of contact to try and get his arms out of the sky.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. That is caught. And the Chargers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, you just need the tip of the ball to cross the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
They scored touchdowns on drives 1 and 2, and now they're trying to make it a perfect 3 for 3 to start. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Defensively, he has been a presence in their backfield in the first half. Had a sack earlier, and now he comes up with a big tackle for a loss.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far, they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Herbert. He's got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Chargers. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Chargers go up by 2 touchdowns. No problem there on the extra point, and it's now 21-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And he elects not to bring this one out as his guys will take over at the 25. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
3-2, their record through the first 5 games of the year as they got the victory last week. It's still early, just October, but what have you seen from these guys so far?
Well, what I've seen is a team that's still figuring out all their pieces because they've got some new faces from a year ago, add in some new draft picks. Sometimes it takes a month or so before you really start to gel as a team and for those players to figure out their roles. But right now, I see them starting to elevate.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Now Lawrence. They're looking for Lamb, but it's intercepted. And the Chargers
season, but never quite as much as they have in these last few minutes. Let's count it up now. A pair of picks on his team's last 2 drives and double-digit interceptions this season. I don't care if you're the best in the game or an undrafted rookie. You've got to take better care of the football or you're going to cost your team chances.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1.
42 yards rushing for him now, and he's only carried the ball 4 times.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
They'll run with Hall.
And he's in for a Charger touchdown.
Breece Hall
taking it in from a yard out.
And the Chargers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
The extra point up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
And no effort to bring this one out. It's a touchback.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we're having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And if we kept having a rough patch, he said, but you've got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here.
Meanwhile, Lawrence's throw pulled in by Lamb. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30.
A big play here for Dallas. 41 yards.
I don't think there's anyone who could possibly doubt how fast he could run in the open field. But if there were, he silenced those thoughts there.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And they'll throw on first down with Lawrence. And he'll go right back to Lamb.
And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, and that will bring up 2nd down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out in the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
An extra defensive back on the field for the Chargers now on 3rd down.
Throwing again here. It's Lawrence. And that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Asante Samuel Jr. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shake this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
He's got a man complete. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Charger touchdown. A big play there. His second touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Chargers continue to pull away here in this first half. Extra point safely through. And the rout is on here in this first half. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away.
This taken in at the goal line. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense.
As the offense comes out here, Charles, remember they threw the interception last time out, but they were moving the football down the field. Looked like they were going to have a sustained drive that ended in points, but then the pick ensued.
And because of that, there's no way you can call the last drive a success. Yes, there are things to build on because they found some play calls that work. Now, they've got to build another drive and find a way to avoid the turnover that plagued it on the last one.
Looking to throw on second down. Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. An unfortunate sequence there, trying to get points before intermission, but now the interception, and their opponents have a chance to possibly pad their lead.
Yeah, they had an opportunity there, and they weren't able to capitalize on it, and that's something that could come back and haunt them later. They're begging their defense now to keep them from scoring before the half ends.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Back to throw here, Herbert. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. Now with 5 seconds left, not really enough time to run another play and then stop it. So on comes the field goal unit. And this one is right through.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Short kick. One of the up middle take it down. So we have reached halftime. Intermission with the visiting Chargers on top. As we'll get you over to Orlando, where standing by is Jonathan Coachman. He has our EA Sports halftime report. Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Cowboys who get the football first, and they trail here as well as we resume action in the 3rd quarter.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Dallas offense here set to begin the drive.
A CD, they certainly know the hole that they face as they begin the second half. They have to do what precious few teams have done in NFL history, and that's try to come back from a 4-possession deficit.
And partner, you know, as that team gathers, they're saying to each other, you never say never, right? Because if you're on an NFL roster, that's how you have to think. You can always come back and win a ball game. And let's face it, we saw a certain Super Bowl, a 25-point lead late that wasn't enough to put someone away. But that being said, this task is near impossible. Let's face it. And the bottom line is it officially becomes impossible if this possession is an empty one.
2 catches in the first half. Now he's got a third here, and it's good for a first. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open.
On 1st and 10, it's Lawrence. Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
Hey, lock it.
Now Lawrence. And he drops it incomplete. And their struggles continue here. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. Now comes the Cowboys punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And he can't field it cleanly. It's loose. But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, or that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And they'll get him down here at the 23. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
On any explosive run, you can almost feel the ground shaking, and that's from the offensive linemen creating space for their runners. I had an old coach tell me before, they always told his runners, run around the offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking so you don't trip and fall when it happens in a game.
He winds up giving a yard back there, and now it's 3rd and 2.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Herbert off of play action. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. He couldn't get away there on 3rd down. The pressure too much, and he's sacked for a loss of 12. On is the Chargers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt, and this offense takes over in great shape right at the 50, 1st and 10.
What you get paid for?
Good starting position for the Cowboys here as they come up 1st and they'll try and run this one right up the gut. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Offensive line really didn't give him any room to maneuver on that play.
Things closed pretty quickly, didn't they? And how about the wrap-up at the end of that tackle? Left no doubt there would be no additional yardage to be found.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10. From midfield now, Lawrence. He'll fire deep downfield from Lamb. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
They had the incomplete pass on 2nd down. Now they need a big play here. 3rd and 10. The
handoff as they run the counter play. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Out now comes the Cowboys punter as he's on here to punt it away. And this will be taken at the 13. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Charger drive about to get going.
These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
Being chased out left. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Picked up by Trayvon Diggs. And the Cowboys are going to take possession of the football. Well, to be blunt, not a whole lot has gone right for this defense in this ball game, but that's something right there. Still in the third quarter. It would take something around miracle territory for a comeback, but maybe that's a start, Charles.
It certainly is, and they're definitely showing that there's some fight still left in them. Hasn't been a banner day, but they're trying their best to put that disappointment behind them and find ways to make plays.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
They go play action now. Lawrence
on the move to his left. His throw incomplete.
Well, defensively, they haven't let him just sit in the pocket and get comfortable, and that's opposite a lot of game plans in today's NFL. Ordinarily, you're trying to keep the quarterback hemmed in. In this case, they brought the heat, and if he flushes out, they're fine with that, and they force another incompletion.
He's going to be out of bounds on what's going to wind up being the final play of quarter number 3.
Down. Pilot, 64, reach. Hey, exit. Hit.
on first down. Lawrence out of his hands quickly to CeeDee Lamb. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
That's complete right around the 8. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
With this game well in hand, perhaps we are seeing the coverage lighten up a little bit as they got burned there a bit for a first down.
Well, we certainly know the coach isn't happy along the sideline because he
touchdown. Dalton Schultz from 4 yards out.
And the Cowboys get a small measure of revenge as they cut into this fourth quarter deficit. That's the ball Patterson up and good. And the lead's tied to 24. Patterson back out there to send this one away.
And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Charger drive about to get going. Certainly no reason to panic. They've got the 3-score lead, but the turnover last time, the interception that led to a touchdown, you'd have to think they might not be dialing that up again.
Yeah, probably not. They're still in fantastic shape, though, so I would imagine before we tried it out here for this series, head coach probably just leaned over to him and was like, listen, we're wearing these color shirts. Throw it to those guys, not the others. Try to make a joke out of it and just let them go out there with a little bit more confidence.
Play action. It's Herbert. That's caught at the Charger touchdown. A great effort there. 63 yards.
And the Chargers add on to their lead, and it's looking like that win streak is going to extend another week.
Extra point splits the uprights. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. The kick unit on here for the Chargers as they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And just looking ahead, it would appear that that bye week is coming at the right time. They'll have 2 weeks to chew on this. And now here's another interception.
And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road. It helps seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
And he takes it in for a Charger touchdown.
You spent your whole life trying to blow up, but Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Pitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records, yeah. Used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like